Hello, Henry from Belgium here. Today I'm taking a look at LEGO Set 3409 Championship Challenge from the year 2000. I have this set complete with the box, the manual, and all the parts. I found it on one of my many trips clearing out attics. It was part of a larger lot with several other boxes, and to be honest, this set ended up a bit in the background. And that's not too surprising, because this doesn't really feel like a traditional build set. It's much more of a playset, in the most literal sense of the word. You're actually building a football field to really play on. Today, I'm finally going to build it, see how the set comes together, and just take you along with me while I do. The box already looks really nice, with great artwork that's fully in that football atmosphere. You can clearly see different possible layouts for the pitch, and it also shows how you're actually meant to play with the set. One thing that immediately stands out to me though, is the type of box this is. It's a format I haven't seen that often, where you have to tear open the side and there's no inner cardboard inlay. That's something I mostly associate with smaller sets, so I'm curious why LEGO used it here. My guess is that everything originally came in plastic bags loose inside the box, but I can't say that with certainty. So if you know more about this specific packaging style, definitely let me know in the comments. The instruction manual is a handy A4-sized booklet with 32 pages and very clear building steps. You've got the minifigures with their dedicated launcher pieces, the pitch itself, and the goals to build. It doesn't look very difficult, and the actual building experience will probably be fairly limited, but it's still a fun one to do for a change. And once you get past the main instructions, there are quite a few interesting pages showing alternative ways to build or rearrange the layout of the set. Right at the back, you also get an overview of the other sets in this theme, so you can really expand it into a full football world with extra stands, supporters, buses, and more. The set comes with 222 parts and 12 minifigures. The pieces that really stand out are the 12 8x16 sports field sections, because those form the main base of the football pitch. You also get the two 8x16 net pieces, and those are quite specific parts that you only find in one other set. The two soccer goalie sticks are another very specialized element, and honestly, if there wasn't a small LEGO logo on them, I'm not even sure I'd recognize them if I saw them in a random lot of old toys. And then there are several other set-specific elements that you really need in order to play the game properly, like the footballs, the rubber bands, and the launching pieces. This is definitely one of those sets where the key parts simply have to be there. Otherwise, you can't really use it as intended. So if you ever buy this one second-hand, it's absolutely worth checking everything carefully. There are also these parts that serve as advertising boards. You get 20 of them, each with different stickers. They're officially listed as a white windscreen 2x6x2. I only knew this part in the trans clear version, so it's the first time I'm seeing it as a solid white piece. You only find it in a small number of sports-related sets. The minifigures are one of the strongest aspects of this set. You get 12 players in total, divided into two teams of 6, a green and white team, and a red, white, and blue team. In real football, a team of course consists of 11 players, so for two full sides, you would normally expect 22 minifigures. LEGO deliberately goes for a more compact 6 vs 6 setup here, keeping it playable and easy to manage on a field of this size. That's also why they didn't simply number the players from 1 to 6, but instead chose some of the most recognizable football shirt numbers: 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, and 10. These are traditionally associated with the goalkeeper, defenders, winger, striker, and playmaker. Even with fewer players on the field, you still get the feeling of a proper football lineup and two clear teams ready to play. It also works well that both teams carry the same numbers, so you immediately get clear matchups on the pitch, and the game stays easy to follow. Personally, I think it's a very nice selection. The goalkeepers have slightly more expressive face prints, while many of the other players still use the classic LEGO smiley faces. You get a good mix of hairpieces, caps, and even 2 players without any headgear at all. It's nicely balanced and doesn't feel overly busy with too many unique prints or faces, just a varied and fitting selection for the theme. I especially like the heads with the mustache combined with the tan-colored hairpiece. You don't see that combination very often. I've only come across that particular hairpiece in one other set myself, a small Star Wars set, and aside from that, it doesn't appear too frequently. It's also worth mentioning that this set includes 4 classic black and white footballs, very useful for creating different play scenarios, or simply as spares in case one gets lost over the years. And then there's the ball with the blue Adidas style pattern. That one is exclusive to this set and has become a nice little collector's item, often selling for around €3 on the second-hand market. It goes without saying that these parts really should be included when buying this set used. They're easy to lose, often replaced with non-Lego alternatives, or even swapped out for marbles over time. The outfield players are attached to a sports minifigure stand socker with spring and green pin, a part you only find in these sports-related sets. It's made of hard plastic with a built-in spring and pin mechanism that allows the players to actually kick the ball. One team uses the white version and the other the black version. In total, there are 10 of these units for the outfield players. The goalkeepers use different mechanisms, but I'll show those later in the video. For these parts as well, it's obviously essential that they're all present and without damage. Otherwise, you simply can't play the game as intended. The first thing I'm going to build is the football pitch itself, and for that I need the 12 8x16 sports field sections. On top, I connect them all together using green 2x2 tiles. Tiles like these have been around since the 1970s, but I have to say this is the first time I'm seeing them in green. You only find this color in a handful of sets in the late 90s, and then more frequently from the early 2000s onwards, so it's nice to have them in the collection as well. The underside is then fully reinforced with the necessary red classic 2x4 plates until you end up with a solid playing surface measuring about 38 by 25.5 centimeters. To build the goals, I first need the large green 8x16 bricks. On top of those come the necessary bricks and plates, along with a well-designed construction for the goalkeeper. The base of that mechanism is a black 4x4 turntable, a part I mostly know from the Pirates theme, where it's often used as the base for a cannon. The idea here is that the goalkeeper can move across the full width of the goal to stop incoming shots, and that's achieved through the mechanism Lego designed, combined with the handle that lets you slide the keeper smoothly from left to right. Attached to the stick is a similar foot piece to the ones used for the outfield players, but without the spring, since that isn't needed here. I think it's a well-designed and realistic setup overall. The nets are also nicely secured in place through a combination of clips, antennas, and the small red tap pieces, which keeps everything firmly in position while you play. The rubber band is an essential part of this mechanism as well. Without it, it simply doesn't function as intended. And of course, it's always nice when the original Lego rubber bands are still present, rather than replaced by generic ones over the years. I place the goals in position, and they fit perfectly within the overall layout. Next, additional bricks are built around the field and connected with the remaining green tiles. On top of that, black and white plates are added to make everything solid and to create a proper base for placing the 20 windscreens around the pitch. The set originally came with a sticker sheet containing 20 stickers, 4 Adidas logos, and several others featuring brands like Legoland, Lego Technic, and more, giving the field that real stadium advertising look. And then, it's simply a matter of clicking the minifigures into place, and the football match can begin. I'm pleasantly surprised by how well this game is designed. It's genuinely a clever setup. The sports field plates are shaped with a slight recess around each minifigure, allowing the ball to properly reach the player when you take a good shot. On a completely flat surface, that simply wouldn't have worked as well. The spring mechanism is also strong and responsive, sometimes even powerful enough to send the ball flying off the pitch. This is clearly a set that was designed to be played with, not just built. And the fact that it was released in 2000 actually feels perfectly timed. Around that period, football was everywhere in Europe, especially with Euro 2000 being hosted in Belgium and the Netherlands. This set really captures that atmosphere. Not just a model, but a system you immediately want to interact with and use. But even beyond the play value, I genuinely like this as a display piece as well. Integrated into a custom town or city layout, it fits in beautifully. It's colorful, lively, and instantly recognizable as a football pitch, adding a bit of life and variation between all the buildings and streets. So this may not be a set you buy for a complex or challenging build, but it's one you remember because it does something LEGO rarely does this purely, taking a simple idea and making it truly work. And sometimes, simplicity really is the strongest design. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you want to see more collection updates in the future, make sure to subscribe. It's completely free. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.